Hey there! Today we're going to jump into a really wonderful poem by Christina Rossetti called A Green Cornfield. Let's explore it together, shall we? So let's just start by soaking this in. The poem really paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? You can almost feel yourself standing in this beautiful green field, hearing that bird singing way up in the sky. It's just so peaceful. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get to know the poet and the basic story of the poem. Then, we're going to decode some of the specific language she uses. After that, we'll roll up our sleeves and tackle the questions from your chapter, and we'll wrap it all up by talking about the overall feeling of the poem. Sound good? Let's get started. Okay, first things first. Let's meet the poet and the poem. Who was this person who wrote these beautiful words? And what's the story she's trying to tell us here? So this is Christina Rossetti. She was a really prominent English poet writing way back in the 1800s. And what's super interesting is that she was especially known for her children's poetry, poems and stories just like this one. So, if you boil it all down, what's this poem really about? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's all about just taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of nature. The person speaking is just standing in a field, watching a bird, and soaking in all the sights and sounds of a sunny morning. Okay, to really get inside this poem, we've got to understand the language, right? Let's decode some of the key words she uses to make sure we're all on the same page. First up is the word mourn. Now, this is pretty straightforward. It's just a shorter, more poetic way of saying morning. You know, poets love to do that to make things sound a certain way. Then there's this phrase, a singing speck. Why a speck? Well, just imagine looking up into this huge, wide-open sky. The bird is flying so high that it looks like just a teeny tiny dot. A speck from way down on the ground. Now here's a phrase you probably don't hear much anymore, gay accord. It's important to know that back in Rossetti's day, the word gay simply meant happy or cheerful, so this phrase just means that everything in the scene is working together in a beautiful, happy harmony. And finally, stalks. A cornfield, of course, is filled with tons of these long, thin stems. The poem mentions them to really help us picture that hidden nest tucked away somewhere safe down below. Now this is cool. Let's look at the poem's rhythm and rhyme. Notice how the word at the end of the first line, blue, rhymes with the end of the third line, two, and mourn in the second line rhymes with corn in the fourth. We call this an A-B-A-B rhyme scheme, and it gives the poem this really lovely, musical, almost song-like quality. Okay, you ready? Let's switch gears and tackle those questions from your textbook. We can totally use everything we've just talked about to figure them out together. So, here's that first fill-in-the-blanks question. Before I show you the answers, why don't you hit pause for just a second and see if you can remember the words that go there. Go on, give it a try. All right, how did you do? The missing words are mourn, two, speck, and corn. Did you get them? And see that A-B-A-B rhyme scheme we talked about? It's a huge clue, isn't it? We knew the last word had to be something that rhymed with mourn. All right, now we're digging a little deeper. What's the main idea here? The theme of the poem. Is it about the natural world, or is it about the world that people build, the artificial world? Well, let's be detectives for a minute. Let's look for clues in the poem itself. We've got a green earth, a blue sky, a singing skylark, dancing butterflies, a whole cornfield. Every single image is straight out of nature. So with all that evidence, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? The theme is absolutely the natural world. Christina Rossetti is celebrating how beautiful and simple and wonderful it is. Okay, let's talk about feelings. A poet chooses every single word so carefully. How do the colors she picks, like the green, blue, and white, help to create a certain mood or feeling for us as we read? Yeah, just think about it. There are no grays or blacks or gloomy colors here. She uses bright, vibrant ones. The green of the field, the bright blue of the sky, the crisp white of the butterflies. All of those together build this feeling of, well, happiness. It's cheerful and joyful. So let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. We've looked at the words, the theme, the colors. So what's the big idea? What's the main feeling, the main vibe that this poem leaves us with? And this is maybe the most important part. That skylark, it's not just a bird, it's a symbol. It stands for something bigger. It represents total freedom and pure, unfiltered joy. It's soaring high above everything, just singing its heart out about how amazing it is to be alive. So when you add it all up, The bright colors, the bird's song, the dancing butterflies, and what that little bird represents, it all points to one overwhelming mood: joy. This poem is like a little pocket full of joy. And that leaves me with one last question, but this one's for you to think about. Go back and read the poem one more time. Which part of it really speaks to you? What's your favorite bit and why? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just about what you connect with. Thanks for digging into this amazing poem with me today.